that into my comp warm-ups, and I think it's been really beneficial.
So, Andrew Kumim, Switzerland, out into the arena. Yuki Hada out in the men's competition. There he is, making his way to the wall.
I've never seen, I mean, I'm sure she has done plenty, but I haven't seen Andrea in a lead competition before. I know she's an exceptional boulderer.
It'd be really interesting to see how she gets on. I mean, well, qualified 4th at the semi-final.
She doesn't look like a boulderer on the wall. She looks fit. She's got endurance to burn. So I don't know if she's been training it specifically for this event, or the training she does for bouldering just crosses over really well to lead.
5 minutes we'll know, but as you say, if you looked at her, you'd assume she was a lead climber from a build, quite tall, very slim.
It's interesting when the boulderers make the decision to compete in the lead climbing as well, because obviously the bouldering is coming after lead, and so it can potentially affect your performance. But yeah, it's always good to see everyone coming through and trying to do the overall. And it's really cool to see who's good at both and who's just good at one, and how everybody's build and training can transfer between disciplines, and then also in the speed climbing.
Do you find there's a certain number of days after which you get a drop off in performance if you're climbing day after day after day?
Yeah, I guess in the competitions, or more so in the lead than in bouldering, you're not necessarily tiring yourself out that much. So I've found all 3 days so far have been pretty similar. I felt better after a couple days of climbing even. But yeah, I guess after the next few days, I'd imagine I'll start feeling more and more tired, especially after bouldering qualifications. If I move forward into semis, I'll imagine myself and all of the other climbers, whether they did lead or not, will be quite tired.
And this time Yuki sticks it. We've seen a few of these junior climbers struggling with that move to the left, which most of the Youth A climbers didn't have too much trouble with. Quite an interesting aspect of this junior final so far. But when you say you'll be feeling tired, does that take the form of muscular fatigue, as in your muscles ache, or is it sort of aches and pains and your joints and your elbows and your knees?
It can be anything. I know one of my shoulders has been getting progressively more and more tweaky as the competition's gone by, but that's just something that crosses over from my training. And you know, try to manage that as best you can. But for the most part, I think it's just a bit of, you know, delayed muscle soreness, and you might not necessarily be able to fire quite as hard as usual. Your skin might be worn down. A heap of different things. Like I said, so far I'm not feeling too fatigued, which is nice. But I think after speed and bouldering, it'll be a different story.
Yeah, it's a tough old schedule. I'll run you through actually what we've got coming up this week. Remember, we'll produce highlights every day of the competition, and we'll also be streaming the finals in all 3 disciplines, in all 3 age groups across both genders. So we've got a pretty packed week of live streaming plus highlights. So today being Wednesday, we've got the lead. We had the semi-finals earlier, and we've got the finals going on right now. The 3rd finalist is the juniors, of course. Tomorrow is women's speed from top to bottom, from qualification to final. Bouldering qualification for men. Meanwhile, on Friday, we've got speed for men, again top to bottom, from qualifiers to final. And bouldering qualification for women. Oh, as we see Andrea off midway through the roof. We'll see a replay shortly, hopefully. And then Saturday is bouldering semi-finals, and Sunday is bouldering finals. Oh, it makes me tired just thinking about you poor people.
Yeah, it's definitely a big schedule. It's for sure the longest competition I've ever done. But it's fun. Like, it's really nice to have finished lead now and know that there's more climbing to go, and I still get to see everybody and and we get to sort of share the experience together for as long as possible, which is always cool.
Yeah, it's been a fun event, hasn't it? The
Yeah, definitely.
hotel is packed full of youth climbers and coaches, and there's more parents here than we normally see at competitions. It's been great fun.
Yeah, it's interesting though. The Australians are off at another hotel with the Slovenians and the Pakistani team, so we haven't exactly had too much of that. It's been pretty chill over on our side, but it's, you know, we come to the competition and get to see everyone nevertheless.
Oh, in the main hotel, like if the walls could speak, they'd tell some stories.
Oh, I can only imagine.
No, I'm joking. It's not been the most raucous, but it's nice.
Well, that's because the first event's still going.
Yeah,
after today, we've got some lead climbers who aren't doing bouldering who are finished. So who knows what kind of chaos can ensue.
Not many of them are old enough to get served. That's the only problem. So Yuki, clear of the roof. It's just on this metre or so of wall that's still pretty steep between the steepest part and the vertical top section. He's just struggling to clip them. It's all wasted energy, especially if you're trying to clip off with your arm bent like that. It takes even more out of you, but...
And he's heading out right. We'll see if he can make it work.
Gets it the second time. This isn't the way you read it,
Nope.
is it?
No. I saw the blocker on the sloper and it just looked super confusing out right. But more than anything, I saw that those holds out left definitely